How's it going, guys, and welcome back to part 2 from yesterday's construction. If you haven't watched yesterday's construction, it's where I built this here little rolling table from scratch, and I think it turned out pretty well. Even though it's a little stiff, it's actually not that bad. Now I know I'm gonna have to put some handles here at the front so I can pull this out a little easier. Gonna make some adjustments so it works a little better. What we're gonna be doing today is basically cutting slots into this piece of wood so that we can put the totes in there so they'll fall through. So the totes will fall through but get caught on the top so that you'll see the top of them on here and the bottom will be floating. So we're going to go ahead and start cutting those. I'm not going to have to move this. I believe I can do this as it sits. I'll just lock the little hinges here so it doesn't move back and forth as I'm cutting. So I'm going to go ahead and start getting the measurements for that and see where we get from there. Alright, so basically what I'm doing is like I basically eyeballed most of the measurements, but basically what I'm doing is that cutting out the slot for this is going to be difficult because it's more narrow at the bottom than it is the top. The trick to cutting this with the jigsaw is to get a drill bit that is going to be big enough so that your jigsaw blade can fit into. So if your jigsaw can fit into the same hole as the size of the drill bit, then it'll make it a lot easier. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to drill a hole. I basically put these X's where I'm going to be drilling holes in. So I'm going to drill a big hole in these X's on all four corners. And after I drill the hole, then I'm going to stick the jigsaw into that hole and then start cutting. So that makes it easier so I can just start cutting from that corner and work my way to this corner. And since there's a pre-drilled hole there, I don't have to make that turn as I'm cutting, because most of the time when you try to turn while using a jigsaw, you bend your blade or the blade can break off, and that can be really dangerous. So you drill a hole. As soon as you get to that hole, you can take your jigsaw out and then just go back in at that same angle. And then once you start cutting and once you do all that, it's just going to fall right out. That's going to be the process. Let's go ahead and get that done. I got it to finally fit and for it to be able to open. It's just so difficult because the hole is just, since it's small at the bottom and gets bigger as you push it in, it made it so much harder because it's just, there were so many rounded off edges in here that it kept catching the tiniest little bumps on the corners. So I basically had to just keep shaving as you saw, and I finally got it to fit and able to open it without it being crushed or warped. Because when it pinches at certain areas, it made this pop up all crooked and I couldn't close it. But now it closes pretty tightly. I think I like where it's at. It's in there snug. And I guess it's okay that it's a little tight in there, so when I open this, it doesn't just fully slide out. But when I got stuff in there, it wouldn't really matter. So that's one. Now I'd like to do the other one correctly so I don't have to go through this again, because that was, I just like eyeballed that whole thing, and ended up being a bit of a hassle. The hole was just way too small. So we're gonna measure this one, how big this one is, and do that other side correctly. So let me go ahead and do that. I did get a lot of sand on these sliders here, so I have to clean those up. I have to clean those up and re-grease these because I got a lot of sawdust on them, so it's going to cause a problem. All that dust is going to... Alright guys, here's the finished product. Basically this is how it's going to be sitting in there. Bear with me, I didn't get the measurements just right. I know it's very bad, but I'm like on zero fuel right now. I'm very hungry. I just wanted to get this done for you guys so you can see the progress. Now this is going to be really hard to pull out, so I'm going to have to put handles here, especially since I got a lot of sawdust in the sliders there, so I'm going to have to like clean those up and re-grease them. Now, you can tell that it's kind of like bowing in the middle, but I don't think it's going to be a problem. Nothing too crazy. All the heavy stuff is going to go in this tote. So, yeah, that's basically it, you guys. This is my idea. Brought it to life. Everything was done from scratch. I haven't seen anybody else do this. I didn't copy any DIYs. This is basically just straight from the back of my mind. So, there it is. I will be making adjustments to it over time, but for the meantime, it is done. So there it is, you guys. Thanks for watching. Leave some likes if you like what you saw. If you want to see more, hit that notification bell down below. Leave some comments. Do whatever you want. See you in the next one.